Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you on the road to WrestleMania 31. We're counting down the days. It's going to be here sooner than later. I can't believe it. It seemed like it was so far away. I remember that I was going to be stashing money away in a DVD case week by week at a time every Friday on payday. Throw a $20 in there and have $1 million to go to WrestleMania with. And what do you know? It's here, and that DVD case is empty. It's going to be what's going to be this year, and that's about it. But I've been seeing, countless reports of The Undertaker returning for WrestleMania 31, which I think, of course, is going to happen. We're going to have this Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt match. Bray Wyatt was sort of hinting at The Undertaker, but at Fastlane, he came out there and put all speculations to rest by finally saying The Undertaker's name, coming out to the ring to Undertaker's theme, Undertaker's casket, his druids with a fire, brought him down to the ring. Everyone was thinking this is going to be The Undertaker's return. He's finally making his way down, and then the casket lid pops open, and Bray Wyatt sits up and looks into the smile with his twirling face, just saying, that's it. And now for the past few weeks, we've been sitting on the edge of our seats, hoping that each next segment is going to be finally The Undertaker showing up on Monday Night Raw. Well, I don't know. It's got to come. We've heard reports basically of people saying that Taker's not going to be on television until actual WrestleMania. That way he doesn't have to go on the road and work Monday Night Raw. It keeps sort of a mystique around him, much like when they had the SummerSlam, when actually Rey Mysterio and Triple H were kept off of television. You had to pay to see their return, to see what they were actually going to be. Their shape was going to be. Triple H came out there as big, huge, all decked out in the King, going up against Booker T. Rey Mysterio came out there decked out like the Silver Surfer, like we had never seen him before, dressed up all like a superhero, come to life. But the reports are basically saying that when Undertaker makes his return, he's going to be making his return as the American Badass, and this is why Bray Wyatt is taking over the casket gimmick, and he's stolen the druids and make them his own, and he's gone as far to build this casket. And that's what we saw him doing in these big nets for the past few weeks. And now, on Monday Night Raw, the casket that we thought would all be used as a prop for WrestleMania 31, with Undertaker putting Bray Wyatt away, Bray Wyatt burned it. And basically, they made jokes about was Undertaker inside of the casket? Was he supposed to make his return? But Bray Wyatt burned it up before he could make his. He could come out and attack Bray Wyatt and accept the challenge. And now Taker would show up on his motorcycle with the American flag on the back. I think that when Taker came out, that was around 2001 is when he started doing that, and it was the right time. I think it was actually Kevin Nash, or maybe it was Scott Hall, that took a little bit of the credit for that, thinking that basically what Undertaker was doing was basically if Undertaker packed his bags and left WWF and headed for the pastures of WCW to get a big old huge paycheck, he couldn't show up as the Undertaker. You could definitely put him in a black jacket, you could definitely put a black hat on him, but he couldn't be the Undertaker. But basically, Undertaker changed his gimmick to completely, the American Badass, which really fit his character. He wasn't really stretching. It wasn't like some guy who you didn't think was going to be riding a motorcycle all of a sudden, putting these chains and having all these tattoos on him, making you think he's some sort of a Hell's Angel gangbanger or something like that. But Taker really fit what it went down. It went its course. If WrestleMania 19, the Undertaker match, it is what it is. It's probably one of the worst WrestleMania appearances for the Undertaker, even though he beats the 2-on-1 match, because he had the Nathan Jones guy, which WWE really believed in, and then they lost a whole bunch of faith in this guy. So I think it was Big Show and Albert? Because I don't think it was Boss Man and Albert. I think it was Big Show and Albert. Whatever it was, it's hard to remember because it's not very memorable. WrestleMania 19 Undertaker's match. I think it was actually the second match of the night on the show. I mean, he didn't even really get a good point. But at WrestleMania 20. When Undertaker came back, and he was Undertaker once again with Paul Bearer and the Druids, and he went up against Kane, that was it. I mean, that's one of the best Undertaker entrances of all time. We had hints at it. Kane was trying to throw a funeral for the Undertaker and everything like that before, but when Taker came out, it was Taker again, and that was the Taker that we all remembered as kids, and we all wanted to believe that this guy really was a dead guy. American Badass hits, you can have Fred Durst there in the stands, but if he comes riding down to WrestleMania 31 on his bike, There's no pop from me. I think that the WrestleMania 31 crowd, we want to see Undertaker as Undertaker. You're wheeling him out there in his wheelchair one more time for this last match. He doesn't need to change his gimmick up and go back to this. We can tip our hat to it and watch some old videos if you want to. Something that they don't even really like to relive in history. They don't even talk about the WrestleMania 17 Undertaker versus Triple H match, even though that's one of the best matches of all time. No holds barred inside of the Astrodome, because of the fact that they don't like to talk about Undertaker not being the dead man. So we'll have to see what goes down, but I don't think American Badass is going to be making his return. I don't think it. I don't really think there's that many people that want to see American Badass makes a return. I don't want to see Fred Durst. I want to hear some gongs. I want to hear the casket rolling down the aisle. I want to see Undertaker sitting up out of it. I want to see the dead man. That's what I want to see.